Hey guys, and welcome back to some magical gaming for Hogwarts Mystery Years 3 and 4. Episode 46 of the season now, I believe. And I am attempting to win this duel against the Centaur, Torvus. It's a formidable opponent, and I haven't actually increased all my attributes yet, but hopefully. I'll find success in winning this duel. Well, it should have taken the aggressive move there, because that's the only thing that can win against a sneaky move. Right. I want to defeat him here. I don't want him to defeat me. Oh, almost. Now, if I'm able to do this one more time, I'll have taken him out. Yes! I don't want to fight you. Then return to your Then return what your brother stole. I don't know what you're talking about. Your brother stole an arrow that belongs to me. An arrow that once belonged to my father. An arrow? Is it this arrow? I found it in the last cursed vault. Where is the arrowhead? I don't know. It was like this when I found it. How did it get inside of a cursed vault? I know about the vaults, but I don't understand how something of mine could get inside. I don't know. I hardly understand about them. How do you know about them? My father told me about the forest vault when I was very young. He warned me to stay away. He never gave it much thought until your brother... I never gave it much thought until your brother arrived years later. Centaurs are taught to stay away from human affairs, but I wanted to help. It was the worst decision I ever made. Jacob claimed that someone had disturbed the vault, unleashing a curse on Hogwarts. He asks me to help him find the vault, and said he needed this arrow to open its door and break the curse. It's missing a jeweled arrowhead, a cherished heirloom that had been with my herd for generations. I wanted to help your brother break the curse, but refused to give him the arrow. Instead, he used his magic to steal it from our camp. I never saw him again. They said it was my fault for helping a human. I was exiled from my herd, and have lived alone ever since. I'm sorry. Your brother is the one who should be sorry. If I ever see him again, he will be very sorry. If I find your arrowhead, will you take us to the cursed vault? I will read the planets. They will tell me what the future holds. You never told us your name. Torvus. Thank you, Torvus. I'm Semajical. I'm Marulus Nide. Be careful with this one, Marulus Nide. His clan cannot be trusted. His clan? His clan? Okay, that's it for the story of this chapter. But there's still one more class to unlock and take. So we'll get into chapter 7 after the break. Welcome back, guys, and as I said before, we are now going to start the story on Year 4, Chapter 7. So here we go. Hey, Semajical, how was your second trip into the Forbidden Forest? Exciting, enlightening, disappointing. I learned a lot. I found out my brother once searched for the vault in the forest. I found out he stole something from the Centaurs. Sounds like you met Torvus. You know him? Torvus is the only centaur lonely enough to strike up a conversation with a human. The others would probably just shoot you on sight. Why didn't you ever mention that before? Why didn't you ever mention that you know a centaur? I suppose I didn't want to brag. Besides, I try not to let anyone know how often I sneak into the forest. Torvus is a good bloke. He and I track dragons sometimes. Not that we ever have any luck. And whenever he finds a sleepwalker, he escorts them to the edge of the forest and points them back to Hogwarts. He reminds me a bit of Bill, if Bill was a half horse. Did he ever mention his missing arrowhead? He mumbled something about it once, but I didn't press him on it. Seemed like a sensitive subject. He said if I return his arrowhead, he might take me to the cursed vault. We better work out a plan to find that arrowhead. We could use something special to help with our planning. Like what? Well, Bill told me about the massive butterbeer thing, so... Madame Rasmerta will be upset if I do this too many times, but... Engorgio. I suppose one more time won't hurt. Brilliant. Now that we have our butterbeer, let's make a plan to find Torvis's arrowhead. Which will get me one step closer to finding the next cursed vault. And maybe even my brother Jacob. Okay, one starter pass, a 1 hour briefing. Not that we're gonna need the whole hour. We've technically already passed this. Thanks, Charlie. This was certainly a helpful talk. I know what to do next. I'll research Centuars, and even if my brother knew anything about this missing arrowhead. I agree. Learn what you can about Centuars. See what your brother knew about that arrowhead and hope for the best. Good luck, Semajical. Tell Torvis I say hi.
Yeah, Mumsy says, do you want your food covered? Big food again?
Bloody. I'm already doing something and you try and shove another special adventure down my throat. I can't believe you fought a centaur, Semajical. Did he shoot you with an arrow? Did you stomp on his tail? Did you ask him if I'd become the youngest professor in the history of Hogwarts? We know what happens to him already, though. Everyone knows centaurs can see the future. The only thing I ask is if he'd show me the cursed vault in exchange for his stolen arrowhead. He's considering it, but I have no idea where the arrowhead is. And I don't know the first thing about him or his herd. Will you help me research centaurs? It'll give me a better idea of what I'm looking for and a better understanding of how to convince him to help. Of course, Semajical. Just promise to let me know next time you're fighting a fantastic beast. And ask him if he wants to trade for one of those bows they use. I could do some proper damage with one of those. And ask his opinion on their decision in 1811 to decline being status in favor of being classified as beasts. It's quite controversial. Focus on our goal, mates. I need to return Torvis's arrowhead if I'm going to find the next cursed vault. Charlie thinks studying about centaurs will help, so let's get to it. Okay, well, we're gonna need to stop and let the energy restock again, and then we can come back and do this. So, after this, guys, to study centaurs. And there we go, that couldn't have been any simpler. This has been great. I learned that centaurs respect divination, have large herds, and are proud and fair. Thanks everyone. I feel like I've learned enough to convince Torvis to show me the cursed vault. I might have learned enough. I might have even learned enough to help him get back into his herd. Ask him if he wants to spar sometime. Ask him for a ton of arrows. Ask him about the Ministry of Magic's Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Shh! I'll ask Penny and Tulip to help me search my brother's room for information on the missing arrowhead. For that, we'll have to wait until it's available, guys. So after the break. And we're back, guys. I think we've already covered this bit, haven't we? If you remember the end of the previous part. So we now go to search for clues. Let's just do that again, and thanks for helping me search my brother's room. I need to see if he had any information on the centaur arrowhead he supposedly stole. Of course, Semajical. Always happy to help. It would help if we had more details on this jeweled arrowhead. I know there's not much to go on. Just look for any notes or sketches about anything having to do with centaurs. No problem, Semajical Baratical. I like a good mystery. If we find a picture of the arrowhead or something that leads us to it, I can go back to Torvis, so let's search. Wow, okay. I'm liking these short tasks. Well, there can't be too many more of them in a row now. Well, we've looked at almost everything in this room except what's under the desk. But we'll need some light to make out what it is. So let's have some. Lumos! I found something! A drawing of the Arrowhead. Okay, I think so. I expected it to be covered in jewels, but it looks like the entire thing was carved from one giant gemstone. Most likely a ruby, if your brother's colouring is accurate. What does the writing at the bottom say? His penmanship really is horrendous. Torvis will understand. This is the only way inside. And the only way to hide it from both of them is to bury it. Both of them? A second centaur, perhaps? Where would he have buried it? Okay, so what do we do now, Semajical? I'll talk to Madame Rakepick. If this arrowhead is related to the cursed vault, she might know something about it. Let me know if Madame Rakepick... Sorry. Let me know what Madame Rakepick has to say. I'll be very curious to hear her answer. Won't we all? Good luck, Semajical. Just let us know if we can help. And once again, this is something we have to wait to do. Not having enough gems to fast track our way to it, and we need more energy points. So, I'll see you after that, guys. Welcome back, guys, and we continue on with the story of this chapter in the game. And this time, well, we're going to talk to Madame Rakepick. And it looks like I've just gained myself 50 extra energy points. Thank you for meeting me, Madame Rakepick. I assume this has to do with your continued pursuit of a cursed vault in the Forbidden Forest? Yes, at least I hope so. In that case, I'm happy to help. Do you want to learn more offensive spells? Actually, I wanted to ask you about a jeweled arrowhead that belongs to a centaur. Who told you about this arrowhead? A centaur, my brother, I'd rather not say. A centaur named Torvis. He said the arrowhead belonged to him, but my brother stole it. I wouldn't be so quick to trust the word of a centaur. Their kind excel at telling lies. Practice your offensive magic with me. Afterwards, I'll be happy to offer my assistance. Why not help me now? I am helping you, Mr. Baratical. More than you know. Show me one of your best offensive spells before we get started. Bombarder! Not bad. Let's see what else you can do. Perhaps you can tell me more about this centaur as you demonstrate your skills. Impress me enough and I may have some answers for you about how I would find this arrowhead. Okay. This is where having the extra energy points will come in handy. You continue to improve, Mr. Baratical. You just may survive the Forbidden Forest after all. Thank you, Madam Rakepick. Do you have any idea where the arrowhead might be buried? I don't know for certain, but my guess is that it's buried somewhere within the castle. You mean here in the training grounds? Or one of the herbology greenhouses? You can bury something without dirt and a shovel, Mr. Baratical. Precious things are often buried under other items, or other secrets, sometimes under feelings or riddles. I don't understand. You will. The only question is, if it will be too late. What should I do? Prove you're capable of caring for a Niffler. If you do, I will allow you to borrow mine for the purposes of uncovering this arrowhead, if it exists at all. And that's the end of the story for this chapter, guys. So, that's where we end this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching and have a Semajical time.